Hello everybody, welcome to your weekly sneaker news recap with me, Jordan Young. We have got a pretty crazy lineup of stories to talk about today. Ye has lost his pudding, Marcus Jordan got arrested, and yeah, he dropped the line.
I'm Marcus Jordan. I'm Michael Jordan's son.
Even more developments with the year's most exciting sneakers so far, the Breads, as well as a whole bunch of exciting sneaker announcements, including some Travis Scott maniere looking Jordan 4s, confirmation around the off-white ones. Bro, heaps to talk about. So let's get into it by first recapping this week's biggest releases. Right, so the big release this week undoubtedly had to be the Air Jordan 5 Black Metallics. I feel like these have gone under the radar a little bit simply because of how much coverage the bands have been getting, and at least here in the UK these didn't release on the Nike sneakers app. This was pretty much just a retailers only type release. I'm not sure whether the Nike sneakers app is maybe going to wheel these out next week or the week after in a restock type thing. I'm not sure, but in any event, rumors are there was something like 65k pairs of these, meaning that they were pretty limited. They've sold out and have gone on to resell for a little bit of money in the aftermarket. So very cool pair. I was pretty lucky to come up on a couple of raffle wins, and they should be delivered today, hopefully. So I'll be bringing you guys my thoughts in tomorrow's review. Right, we've got to talk about the banned ones. The official release date is next week, but some retailers have been given clearance from Nike to sell pairs this week. Here in the UK, we had the store down in Brixton, BSTN, do a first come, first serve for people yesterday. I know a number of places around the US have been doing some first come, first serves. There have been raffles going out. And I actually went downtown to London and spoke to a guy in a sneaker store who was telling me that, yeah, Nike, although they've given pretty limited product to most retailers, have simply told them that they can sell them ahead of the official release dates if they want to. That's absolutely fine. And from a marketing standpoint, I guess it makes sense because Nike have been really pushing the sneaker for the past few weeks on their socials, all over the place. And now that that's kind of reached a bit of a crescendo, a great way to continue on the marketing, building the hype and excitement for the sneaker is to really just hand the product over to the retailers and allow them to play their part by getting these into the hands of the customers who so readily want them, to empower them to create their own content. So at least from a marketing point of view, it makes a lot of sense and it has been well played. Now, just having a look at what's going on with these prices online, this will be music to your guys' ears. If you've waited it out and you've been patient and you have resisted the temptation to get a pair on the early market, prices have been plummeting. At the start of the week on Monday, pairs in my size were selling for around £600. That's around $750 upwards. And every day that's passed, the prices have been going down even more. Now, the market in my size is currently settling around £300 to £350, meaning, bro, that's basically half what they were on Monday. And as the release date draws even closer, I think prices are going to drop down even more to the point where we're maybe looking at these fetching a little bit over retail on the official release date. Now, I've seen some numbers floating around. Obviously, the initial rumors around there being only 10k pairs was capped, but we always kind of thought it would be capped. The numbers were never confirmed. It's looking more like at the moment there's something like 23,000 pairs, which would make a little bit more sense according to the market. Now, you're probably at the point now where you're getting sick and tired of seeing these. I imagine by the time the release date actually does roll around, you'll be ready to see the back of these breads. But yeah, the good news is there's more pairs than we were initially thinking. Prices have now come down to a much more palatable plateau, and so good news if you really want to get your hands on a pair of these. Right, let's get into the news. Got a couple of crazy stories to start things off with, although when you think about the characters that are involved in these stories, they're not actually that crazy. Marcus Jordan was arrested earlier in the week for driving under the influence as well as cocaine possession. He was supposed to pull over at a routine traffic stop. He was seen speeding away. By the time the cops had caught up to him, they'd discovered that he'd marooned his Lamborghini Urus on some train tracks and was unable to move the vehicle. Now, you can see the exchange on body cam footage via the police. It shows Marcus Jordan slurring his speech, lacking all types of urgency and cognition about the situation. He even name drops his father as if that's enough to get him out of the predicament.
I'm Marcus Jordan. I'm Michael Jordan's son.
And before long, he was arrested and he was charged. You can see his mugshot here. His glasses rumors are just not sitting on his ears, which is kind of interesting. And since being let out on bail, he has made a statement where he says, "I appreciate everyone reaching out. I'm focusing on Trophy Room right now and won't be making any comments on the recent media stories and my personal life. I sincerely appreciate your concerns and thank you for kind understanding." So one of the interesting things about this story is that it coincided with, I want to say, the crescendo of the marketing for the banned Jordan 1s, which have been upcoming, with their entire line being unbannable.
Still unbannable.
And then here, Marcus Jordan is essentially signing his own ticket to being banned from driving.
Still bannable.
Marcus Jordan, I'm Michael Jordan's son.
Bannable.
And I guess for people that aren't big fans of Marcus Jordan or Trophy Room because of their backdooring, flagrant backdooring over the years, this will have been a story that I'm sure a lot of you may well have even enjoyed. Now, the next story that's crazy, but it's not crazy, involves Ye, who could arguably be the mentor for someone like Marcus Jordan when it comes to being an exemplar of erratic behavior. He was making waves earlier on in the week for his appearance at the Grammys alongside his missus, who was seen on the red carpet wearing a dress that was barely perceptible. I mean, if you used your imagination, you could actually see a dress on her. That's how scandalously revealing it was. But in more recent times, he's been stirring up controversy thanks to, surprise, surprise, his Twitter handle. Now, he's been firing off, taking shots at everyone, saying the most inflammatory stuff he can say. But one of the biggest things that's gotten a lot of his fan base offside is his endorsement of Diddy. He's come out and said free Puff. He's been trying to appeal to Donald Trump to free him. He's even gone as far as to create a collaboration with P. Diddy's brand Sean John, which you can actually go on to his Yeezy.com website and buy right now. And this has completely put a lot of people off. Not for the fact simply that in recent times he said he wouldn't be doing any more collaborations with anyone ever, so he's already contradicting himself, but for the fact that P. Diddy is pretty much the one guy right now that everybody is trying to dissociate from. And whilst he has walked back a lot of the inflammatory tweets in recent times, like over the past few hours or whatever, he said this was just a social experiment to see what he could get away with saying online, so as to see whether or not he would be deplatformed or demonetized or whatever. Like, ha ha ha, I was just joking aside, he's not beating the bros not really with it allegations at the moment. It really does read like a desperate scream for attention that he's, succeeding in getting. But I'm wondering how his recent endorsement of Diddy is going to play, particularly with regard to the Yeezy empire that he's trying to build online and the brands that he's trying to reestablish. And in the wake of this, Travis Scott has unfollowed him on Instagram. I don't know if it's related, but Gosha Rubinski has now stopped working with Yeezy.com moving forward. So if Ye was really trying to make a play for a more isolated position inside the fashion pop culture community, he's going about it in the right way. But saying that you wouldn't collaborate with anybody and then collaborating with the one guy that you'd probably want to steer clear of most in this day and age, in this time, seems like a really unorthodox move. What do you guys think about this? Right, let's talk about the Foamposite 1 Galaxies. Just a reminder, these are set to drop on the 21st of Feb. $230 is the retail price. And this week in the US, there was an exclusive access draw for people that have gone into at least 3 different Foamposite draws since March 2023, and these people were given access essentially to be able to buy these sneakers early through the Nike sneakers app. Now, the other rumor that I'm hearing around this sneaker is that these could also shock drop, maybe in limited quantities over All-Star Weekend over the 14th or 15th, which would coincide with their original release back in the day. So I guess stand by your Nike sneakers app if you guys wanted to maybe be hip to a shock drop for these. Haven't seen any firm information on numbers. I am hearing that these are going to be limited. I think much like a lot of the keynote releases, Nike are trying to underserve demand at the moment to get the hype going again. Speaking of the Galaxy foams, this is a pretty crazy story and a pretty crazy giveaway that's based on a pretty awesome story in the legend of the Galaxy Foamposites. It's PJ Tucker's sneaker store giving away a Galaxy themed wrapped Corvette. It's a 1996 Chevy Corvette. According to the comp, you get the Vette as well as the Foamposite ones should you win. And the whole reason for the giveaway is a reference to a now iconic Craigslist post from a Queens resident, quite literally offering up his 1996 Chevy Cavalier in order to secure a size 10.5 Galaxy Foamposite. And so for those that are in the Bay Area during All-Star Weekend, all you need to do in order to come up on this crazy win is register for the store's Better Plus release program. One lucky winner is going to get the Vette as well as the shoes, but there are also going to be 5 other winners that are going to be selected to get the shoes. You guys will remember a couple of weeks ago we spoke about the Kobe 8s from the infamous Achilles injury that were being auctioned off on the Sotheby's websites. Well, they've sold. The hammer has come down and the final price, $660,000. Let's talk about some exciting updates, some confirmations, some rumors, some new looks, all of that good stuff. I want to start off by talking about Union Los Angeles, who have launched a microsite for the upcoming Air Jordan 1 collaboration on the Chicago/Shadow pair. Now this release is supposed to be going down soon, like this month, like imminently, maybe next week. I'm not sure. I haven't seen any firm release dates at the moment, but it could be part of the whole All-Star Weekend. And so all you need to do is go to this website here. It's www.unionjordanimback.com. You can register your interest for the drop by submitting your email, which is going to enable you to get updates around the release. And as you guys may know, sometimes Union do these drops via these alternate microsites in order to make the user experience a little bit easier for manual coppers. So yeah, these could be literally right around the corner, the Chicago Unions. We're hearing that another Jordan 4 maniere is in the works. This particular colorway, very palatable, very appetizing, looking pretty dope. It's a mocha Air Jordan 4 maniere. Now, we only have these mock-ups to go off, which if you squint a little bit, you can definitely see the Travis Scott's Friends and Family or the PE pairs of Travis's. The blocking is clean. These will be a problem if they come out anything close to approximating these. Bro, they always do this with the mock-ups. They give us the absolute cleanest mock-ups, and then by the time we get the actual shoes, we're kind of left, in some cases, preferring the mock-ups. These are clean. These are looking good. No specific release date information. Rumors are suggesting late 2025, which could just be a code word for inevitably cancelled. We do have the maniere 3s dropping in March. There's also some other maniere stuff coming out this year. So look, if they come out looking like this, I'm down. Jordan 1 Off-Whites confirmed for the holiday 2025. Confirmed in massive quotation marks. I'm still not 100% sure exactly what's happening with this sneaker. I don't know if this is a retro of the Euro pair. All I'm hearing is that this shoe has been called white on white as per the color code description, and the nickname colorway it's been given is the Arctic or the Arctic white or something like that. You guys remember when the rumors of these broke, there was a narrative that they were going to be based on an early Virgil sample that's different to the Euro pair. Now we're kind of seeing a potential Euro retro, but the words retro haven't been used in any of the copy that I've read. So I'm still not 100% sure exactly what we're getting. Is it a retro of the Euros, which would, I guess, amount to a restock in a sense, or is it a brand new white on white Arctic Jordan Off-Whites? I'm still not 100% sure. We've got plenty of time for this to actually unveil itself. Keep you posted, but for now, these are a thing. These are going to happen. The next confirmed sneaker to release this year that a lot of people are excited about, myself included, are the Chicago Jordan 1 Lows. Supposedly set to drop sometime in October. Part of me is a little bit gutted about that because this is a summer shoe. This is a brilliant summer shoe. The colorway, the style, bang on for summer. October doesn't make a whole bunch of sense to me, but yeah, obviously it's a stacked calendar release. These could be situated in a place that maybe isn't so full of bangers. I don't know. Am I excited about these? Yes, for sure. Right, jumping down a little streetwear side street for a second. We've had a closer look at some of the items from the Nike and Supreme release. And in all honesty, these aren't really giving me a whole bunch of life, to be honest. They're a little bit yawn-inducing, soporific, I think is the term. Yeah, this particular part of the collection I would be divesting myself from. I'm not sure if it's coming out as part of the SBs, or you guys might remember there was the MX-1s rumored to come out with Supreme as well, but yeah, these are pretty mid. But our first look at some New Balance collaborations with Kith on the 992. I like the 992. I think that is a very nice model. These look okay. They look pretty plain Jane, to be honest. Not exactly filling me with a whole bunch of excitement, but look, it's Kith. You can expect really high quality materials, nice low-key stealthy branding here. We've got two colorways, both featuring a little bit of blue action. It looks like I haven't seen any copy around the storytelling or whatever. These have not come with the Kith filter. These are just some cutouts from, I think, a more broad photo shoot. But yeah, they look okay. Another Jordan 11 has been added to the mix for this year. I mean, bro, getting trigger happy with the 11s. Look, 10 years ago, I would have loved for a year wherein we get multiple Air Jordan 11s. If you've been in the game long enough, you'll know that most sneakerheads would wait all year for the holiday 11s release. But bro, this year it's feeling like they're overdoing it some. I mean, to be honest, I don't even wear Jordan 11s anymore. Anyway, but listen, this latest one is called the Grand Finale, which is an ironic name to be given to a sneaker that it seems like we're never going to see the grand finale of. Gray, white, metallic silver colorway, again part of the holiday release. So we have had a much more intimate in-hand look at one of the sneakers that has captivated a lot of attention inside the sneaker and fashion paradigm this year, and that's these, man, the Adidas Jellyfish. This is the sneaker that Pharrell is said to have had a hand in designing. When you look at them, particularly in this video, they basically just look like a pair of Balenciagas. I'm talking about this very much exaggerated and oversized aesthetic. I mean, it's almost good to see a changing in the tide where it's not Balenciaga copying the lower brands, it's the lower brands kind of copying Balenciaga, or it's the lower brands copying Balenciaga who have taken the original copy from the lower brands. Like, it's a bit of a rally going back and forth now with who can reinterpret the other's ideas in a more commercially marketable type of way. I actually think these sneakers look cool. I'd be keen to try them out. I'm looking forward to a potential release date. We've also seen some other colorways out there as well. I'm liking them. What do you guys think? Teddy Santis has previewed a New Balance collaboration that it's speculated could be part of a spring 2025 collection. Other people have been speculating that these might just be some unreleased samples that are emerging for laughs. I don't know, but we've got a couple of different models to talk about. You've got the 1300. You've also got some pairs of the 860 V2 in a trifecta of different colorways. I'm not overly bowled over by either of them, although I do like the look of the 860 V2. I definitely need to get my hands on a pair of those. What are you guys thinking of these? We have seen some images of the next KD model, the KD18. These are looking cool, looking absolutely fine. These are supposed to be debuting in the summertime. And this model is also going to be joining the Black Label collection. And the Black Label collection features a whole bunch of really awesome signature basketball sneakers from the likes of KD as well as LeBron on the 22. You've also got the Sabrina 2, Giannis's sneakers involved, Ja Morant sneakers involved. In fact, his one is the Swarovski version. These are all very limited, something like around 2,000 pairs each particular model. And these are set to release, I think, over the All-Star weekend. One of Jordan Brand's most key demographics, I have to imagine, has got to be the male aged 35 to 55. And so it's of great wonder that Jordan Brand haven't seized on that demographic's interest and need to bang about in more comfortable footwear, given that retro Jordans are pretty much a surefire way to bring on some type of podiatry problems. They finally embraced the comfort era with a Jordan 1 inspired walking shoe. Why they didn't happen across this a lot earlier, I will not know, but this is basically the equivalent of your New Balance Jordan. Got some pretty nice looking suede overlays. They do have some Jordan DNA or some Jordan 1 Low DNA with the profile. Front midsole is stitched to the upper in the classic Jordan 1 fashion. Nice looking supports around the heel, bit of a chunky midsole for some comfort. You've got the pull tab. The shape is nice, silhouette's nice. They look like they would be comfy. $115 is the retail price. No specific release dates coming out at the moment. Right, to finish off, let's talk about this week's biggest sneaker releases. And I feel like this week could be one of the biggest and busiest of the entire year, arguably, because there's so much releasing and then there's a lot of other stuff going on as well. So let's start off first and foremost with the Ultra Boost OG 1.0. February the 11th. On February the 13th, you have a pretty interesting pair of Reeboks dropping, the low top basketball joints, the Engine A's. And then we get around to the Kobe 6 All-Stars, which are dropping in the Sail colorway. Clean pair. Make sure you guys are following all of your local retailers that carry Kobe product, as well as keeping an eye on the Nike Sneakers app. This release is going to usher in a potentially busy weekend of All-Star related releases. So let's move on to the next one, which is probably the biggest release of the week, arguably the Banned Jordan 1s. Now, as said before, most retailers have been throwing out their raffles for these, so you may well have already come up on your pair of these, and if you have, fantastic. Here in the UK, these are going to be dropping on the Nike Sneakers app. Not sure for you guys in the US whether or not you are going to get a Nike Sneakers app release, but the official date is the 14th. The same day, you've got the Black Label Nike signature basketball release going down that we spoke about before, with the LeBrons, the KD 18s, etc, etc. And then on February the 15th, you've got the Black Toe Reimagines. Now, obviously a consolation prize to everybody that missed out on the breads. Here you go. Here's a nice option. If you guys wanted to check out my review on these, I threw up one a couple of weeks ago. It's a really good pair, really clean colorway. They've definitely been overshadowed by the bands, but that shouldn't put you off copying these if you do indeed like this colorway. Now, you're also going to need to keep an eye out for things like the Galaxy Shock Drop, which may or may not be happening, as well as keeping an eye out for the Union release of the Chicago Shadows. Like, bro, that's what I'm talking about. It's a crazy week of releases, not just for the ones that we know about, but also for the ones that we don't necessarily know about at the moment. So yeah, good luck copying. Hope you guys have a good week. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. Do me a favor and like it before you bounce, and I will see you tomorrow for my Jordan 5 Reimagined review. Till then, take care and have a good one. Peace.